Actually, most of what Geek Squad is not tech support, it's people support. So, we don't make technology. If it were built better, there wouldn't be a need for Geek Squad. You actually learn about people. You learn about how people use it, and that's what's really interesting. Is the technology is the same everywhere, but how people use it are different. And I think that's playing itself out now as we talk more about social rather than just the technology. How do we secure technology? Well, there's the typical answers of what software you use. But there's another kind of more nefarious security, and that is complexity. If a system is too hard to get into because it's too secure, then no one will use it, and they'll start using other personal technologies. The competition for the work systems, that people go home at night and they have access to more collaborative technology through Facebook and Twitter than they do through at work. So I always encourage security teams to count the number of clicks it takes to do something, because they're competing against ease. And if it gets too hard, that itself is a security threat. The best advice I have for anybody leading technical teams is to understand what motivates those teams. The best way to attract and retain the best quality engineering and technical talent is to have interesting work. Nobody has a lifelong job anymore, so tech people, the currency for them is experience. So some percentage of anything that you do, you should have your own moon mission. Interesting work, challenging problems. This is what geeks live for. And if you do that, you buy yourself a lot of runway, a lot less turnover, and you'll attract better talent. And that's probably the most important thing. Well, there's so many different trends. Probably the most important trend is that open data is probably really important. Because it's not just people who are becoming social, it's data that's becoming social. Now, there are privacy implications for that, but more importantly, especially in government entities where they're public institutions, it's expected that the majority of the data is going to become public, or at least available, so that other entities can access that data and then build infrastructure around that, whether it's property tax or census data or other things like that. What you're seeing today is that the developers for like iPhone apps, even stupid little games like Angry Birds, at some point a greater percentage of nerd culture will desire a higher sense of purpose, and that's going to lead to them wanting to be involved in more civic projects, kind of like the Gov 2.0 movement and stuff like that, which will be really good. So it's important that governments think about this open data. And the good news is there are models out there. And having conferences like this is one of the best ways to swap those ideas.